bridging creativity with his love of sports and rock and roll. He's got designs on Pickleball's A-listers. He's not show me the money. He's Matt Bridges. It's the Pickle with Mickle interview series. 0-0 start. Hi, Matt. Appreciate you joining me here tonight. Matt, we can only start the show with a simple fact that the cat got let out of the bag. I need you to just blow the candle off the cake with something you got going on this weekend on the pickleball court in Sacramento. Go ahead. Tell the world who you're playing with up there this weekend.
Oh man! First of all, what's up, Mickle? I'm so glad to be here. It's an honor to be here with you. And you're right. This Saturday, I'll be up at the APP Sacramento playing men's doubles with J.R. DeHart. So yeah, you can catch us playing 3-0 in the men's. I believe we're 19 and above because that's the lowest bracket they have for him.
That's the lowest bracket, but he's how old?
He's 8 years old.
That's right. That's right. And he's playing in the 3-0 level with you. And have you played with him a little bit?
We have never played together. No, this will be a first time getting together. Yeah,
that'll be so cool. And then again, I thought I was going to have the premier reveal for everybody, but of course, I see your own work out there on social media. Got posted out there. It looked great, and he was swinging it two-handed. I think you guys are going to have a blast out there.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're hoping to win, but we want to have fun too. So, well, it's a golden ticket event though. So if we win, we get the golden ticket, and we're off to nationals. And
how cool would that be?
That's kind of the goal now. So let's go.
Right now that you're in, it's time to win. You get that golden ticket. That'd be something, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's exciting times all around for you, Matt. I'm here with Matt Bridges, Pickle with Mickle interview series. I'm still Micklemore. I appreciate you making some time for me. I think we need to go back a little bit, even before you started any of this cool pickleball stuff, and talk about your musical background and some of the journey that took you on.
Oh, okay. So actually, that's actually how I got started with graphic design too. If we want to tie that in later. So when I was younger, I played in a lot of bands, a lot of punk bands, and we inquired about getting a website made, getting a logo done, and we couldn't believe how expensive it was. And we were 15, 16 years old, so we're like, that's way out of our price range, even when it was a couple $100 or whatever. So I just figured out how to do it, and that's kind of how I got started with graphics so long ago. And it kind of took me a little further into the music stuff. I ended up moving to New York. I lived there for about a year, played music, and got
Were
to
you
do some
in the
cool
city
things.
or outside the city? Were you in the village?
I was in Queens. I was in a little place in Queens called Middle Village.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool. We were everything's so close over there. So we were like a 20-minute train ride on the subway from Manhattan. So it was cool. Yeah.
A lot different traveling just in New York versus traveling California public transit. Fair to say?
100%. Yeah. Completely different.
And I know we talked a little bit, before the show, of course, and I'll go ahead and brief you. If you ever do come out to Arizona, we have a train, let's say, nothing like anything you would find in a city the size of Phoenix or what it should be. Let's just say we made an attempt. We do got a nice old train. And if you come out here, hey, you can pop on it. You can go from downtown to Tempe, go a little north, nothing like you might be used to. But hey, we had to make a start.
Got to start somewhere, right?
That's right. And so if the musical journey kind of tied right into the graphic design because you made a logo for the band, always enjoyed playing music. We're going to hit on that a little more. How did we start playing pickleball? And then it kind of snowballed from your current job into what you're doing now in pickleball, which is awesome. And folks, I mentioned it. You can see Matt's work all over social media right now. We're going to talk a little more about that. I'm going to let him talk about it. Go ahead and start wherever you'd like with that and take us in, bring us into the story.
Sure, man. Got into playing pickleball just for doing something with my daughter. I have a 13-year-old, and when she was a little bit younger, we decided to try it just to do something together outside. I had a friend who was always bugging me to play, so I fell in love with it right away. And she has since fallen off from it. She's a rebellious teenager now, so she's doing her own thing. But that kind of just jump started what I'm doing now, and I'm a graphic designer during the day, full time, for a company that does labels for agriculture here in California. And a friend and I were just talking, and he said, "Why don't you make some fan art?" And that's kind of what I did.
This friend you played pickleball with, right? This is he was part of your pickleball crew, this friend, or was this just a friend at work?
No, this is a part of a friend that's now a pickleball crew. Yeah. So he so basically after a while he's like, why don't you make some fan art? And at the time I was repping Electrum, and I went on their website, and I was kind of thinking, let's go for Colin Johns. Let's send Colin Johns something, because Colin Johns is Electrum, and I loved Electrum.
You got to start. You got to swing big. Like why not? Why not go after a name?
Right. And I didn't know any better. I was just getting into pickleball, and I'm thinking, let's go for it. And long story short, he didn't respond, and I just kind of went down the list, And the next person on the list was Udit Castillo, and she was a new pro. She had she was on the show, right?
That's right.
And so she responded to me, and we just kind of struck up a friendship over the months with working together. And through that, it just kind of snowballed. Other players were seeing the work and reaching out to me for graphics of their own, and it just kind of became a thing. It was really organic the way it happened, which is a nice thing. It doesn't feel like it was a forced or a strange way to do it.
Well, I think that's a great way that you put it, is the organic development that it can be. And so you meet a great person like you did, and she's incredible, and she was on the show. And I tell you what, I mean, my show is kind of a springboard for some greatness. She grabbed a gold medal. There's been some other people who've done some great things after stopping by here. So who knows what's next for you? Just a little aside, we'll all pray for great things. But like you said, it's now making those connections, and it's not a forced thing. It's almost more of a like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I've done this for some of these folks. Would you be interested? And hey, it's not like you have to chase them down too hard, although we talked about that too. And it's no different than any other work. Of course you do. But it's such a more of a warm handoff. It's more of a warm approach when you're in the Pickleverse like you are.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And the people in the pickleball community, they're just the greatest people, man. Like, everybody's just there to network and to talk to people and community, in every sense of the word. That's basically what pickleball is in a nutshell, outside of the sport,
Yeah, absolutely. And so talk about how that spiraled into some of the current folks that you're working with, and some of the great things. Obviously, we spoke about playing in the event this weekend. Now, is playing in events something that you want to do, or maybe more fun on the side? I think you mentioned to me before, and this will take you into your current, let's just say your current team that you're working with, but you've got that Jerry Maguire approach, where you don't want to go out and have everybody come in and be a part of Matt Bridges' design. Hey, the bridge is exclusive. Once you walk over and you're into the bridge community, you want to keep it tight so that you can focus on your great work. And I respect that. I think that's a great way to go.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Like, I think it's a good way for me to be able to focus on giving a high quality product to somebody, like it gives me the opportunity and the time to spend a little bit more on somebody and really focus in on it. And so far, I think we've done it in the last couple of tournaments that way, and it's been really good. It's worked out well.
And who are some of the other current players that you're working with today? Who's crossed that bridge?
Oh, so Megan Fudge would be one of them. She's a really cool one, and the way that kind of happened was that's a cool story we can go into. I guess that'll lead into the weekend. Yeah, so Megan reached out to me. Actually, I'm sitting
for
with
those
my
who
wife
might
and we're
not
watching
know,
like a rerun.
just let's set it up just so people know. Megan Fudge is pretty predominant, popular, well-known, very good pickleball player, folks. So we're not just here grabbing people out of the stands for Matt to apply his craft. He is working with some big names in pickleball. Go ahead.
Sure, yeah. She's a force in the APP over there.
Superstar. You can say it.
And superstar, absolutely, 100%. So, my wife and I were watching a rerun of, I think it was APP Mesa, but don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. But it was Megan Fudge and Susanna Barr, and they were in a women's doubles match, and I can't remember who the opponent was. But I remember thinking to myself, how cool is that their name is Fudge Bar,
Right.
And I kid you not, no more than maybe 10 minutes after that, I get a message on Facebook from Megan Fudge asking about,
No way.
graphics, and saying that, she was a friend of Udit's and she saw my work and she'd like one for the US Open. And
Wow.
that's how we got started there. And it was just a really cool moment, a really nice coincidence that that kind of sparked a friendship and a partnership that's kind of continued into this weekend, playing with her 8-year-old in men's doubles. Who
It's
would have
so
thought,
cool. Yeah, it's so cool. You should have on his graphic. Maybe I missed it. Did you put Fudge Bar on there at all? Somehow, the next time you get the two of them together, you've got to do something with the Fudge Bar. That's too good to let go of. If they play,
Oh yeah, that's one. We do a hashtag Fudge Bar on her graphics, all of the graphics. Yeah,
right,
you
that's
can
so
find that
good.
everywhere.
That's so good.
Yeah,
And you're going to lead me
right.
into where I want to go. But go ahead and talk about, that relationship is awesome, and then some of the other folks that you're working with.
Oh man, Jack Monroe and I have some cool things planned that I can't really
No toilers,
elaborate too much on because no spoilers at this moment, because
Matt. I got to stop you. Pump the brakes.
it's not only
We do
me.
we do toilers here. That's part teaser, part spoiler. But if we can't have one of those, that's okay. Tell us as
Okay,
much as you
so
can.
let's say what I can tell you is him and I are working on a logo for him. And that's going to tie into a couple of other projects. Let's just say that.
Cool.
We'll leave it there.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's a perfect toiler. That's all you have to do. That's perfect. I love it. And I love Jack Monroe.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on my show. He's a great guy. I mean, I should say he's 19 and he's been around pickleball his whole life. And that's great that you're working with him. You got one more. Let's not leave out that last one. He's pretty.
Oh yeah, you're talking the master of the Tui, Connor Garnett. He's he rounds out the fourth member of the team, I guess you could say.
That's right.
Yeah, he's a big one, and he's always been really, really cool, man. He's very humble, despite where he is in the rankings and how he's performing and stuff like that. Never had a bad experience with the guy, and he's always loved the work, and he's always been really encouraging. So, yeah, he's great to have as a part of the team, and we got some cool things gonna come too. So,
Well, I can only imagine, and I can't wait to see it. Like you said, very cool, exciting times when you are working with Udit or Megan or Jack or Connor. Do you get to play any pickle? You get out there and get some tips or take some hits. You guys, play a little skinny sing.
There is a video. There's a video that exists of down in San Clemente of me and Udit playing singles. And I told her not to hold back. She still held back, and she still whooped me. So there's a pretty good video of it. And then afterwards, she's giving me some tips. It was a lot of fun. And
that's so great.
Anytime any of the tour, I guess you could say, the PPA or the APP, comes to California, the wife and I try to go and try to connect with everybody and just spend our time, more in the community rather than playing ourselves. But so yeah, I got to do that with Udit before, and I told her finally I'm ready for the rematch. I think so. We'll see.
Yeah, throw down the gauntlet right now. Do
Sacramento.
It. Oh, you better.
Here we go.
I need video of that.
I'm calling her out. We'll see.
I need video of that. I'm going to text Jenna as well, who knows Udit, and say, look, I texted her tonight to say you were coming on the show, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, because I had to give her a big, thumbs up and good luck this weekend. Now, let's see if we can put that rematch together if you guys get some downtime.
There we go. As long as it's after JR and I are able to do our stuff, because I want to make sure I have everything, to keep up with him, because he's going to be running circles around me, I'm sure.
Come on. 8-year-old power doesn't even have to get plugged in. That is renewable energy right there. And of course, only after you've secured that golden ticket will we even entertain a rematch with Udit. First things first, golden ticket, then rematch. And so then talk to me a little bit about your hat, 6-0 pickleball. You mentioned a long time ago you were swinging Electrum. Are you swinging a 6-0?
I am. They're a company that I've developed a relationship with too. I've gotten to do some partnership stuff with them. I've done some product design with them, some apparel, some bags. A lot of cool, neat things that haven't come out yet that I can't talk about, that we may never see, that we might see. I'm not sure, but their paddles, I just absolutely love them. So
that's great.
That's my primary thing that I spend most time with on the court. Yeah.
Awesome. And then you mentioned, right, we have is she 12 or 13 now? She's about to be 13-year-old daughter. Used to pickle with you. We've got the wife who you guys still pickle together, prefer to go to tournaments and have some fun, but for rec time, do you guys go out and play pickleball together?
She doesn't play, no. She loves watching it. She loves kind of she always talks about living kind of through my chaos, if you will, as far as like, up and down the state, going to tournaments and, just walking all over the place. When we go to tournaments, we're walking around like we're trying to get to a new court every time, and it's like we've gone to Disneyland type of thing. So yeah, she's more of a entertainment, if you will.
What's her big thing? Is she music, movies? What is that? We'll get there, but go ahead and toil me a little bit. What's your wife really like to do with the entertainment? Is that a big music, or is she?
Oh, she's definitely into movies. Yeah. She just recently watched the Marvel,
which one?
The Marvel movies in the chronological order.
Yeah, she went through the whole, like.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that's right here. So right here. What's your wife's name? She's a place in my heart for your wife right here. I love it. I'm a Marvel.
Oh, there you go. Her name's Jen. Our whole family is just we're a bunch of nerds.
That's awesome.
Really
now we got, I don't even have some stuff like that written down, but we're going to go right off into a great tangent into some Marvel Universe and comic book stuff and nerd stuff here in just a minute. In fact, I don't know if we shouldn't just hop in there pretty quick right now. However, I told you earlier that based on your current clientele, you and I both love MLP, Major League Pickleball. Major League Pickleball format. 2 guys, 2 gals. You got an MLP squad you're working with right now. Pretty much you could put an MLP team right out there. So you know what I'm going to ask you. Did you come up with your team name.
Oh man, I haven't yet. I haven't. I've thought about a couple of them, and they just didn't. They just didn't seem
Throw
like
one out
ones I
there. You
wanted
got
to
to
put
throw
my
one out
name
there
on.
because
You know
I'm
what I
gonna throw.
mean?
I'm gonna throw this.
Oh man, one of them, it was bad, Mickle. One of them was like Tui Lewis or something like that. Because Connor's Tui, and yeah, it was terrible.
That's
So
all
yeah,
right. How about Chewy Lewis and the other twos or something like that? Or
yeah, that's as far as I got.
I've got the Fudge Mint drops.
What do you got?
Fudge Mint drops.
Oh, okay. That's not a bad one. That's
I
not a
think it
bad one.
works. I think it can work.
And that could be a cool monogram logo too.
You could do a
Those three
lot with.
initials.
You could do a lot with the graph.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. It's
And
definitely
so
better than Tui Lewis.
I think Tui Lewis will keep in beta, right? It might end up on the shop floor. It might get chopped up and cut. We'll find a way to use it. I'm gonna find a way to use it when we're promoting this show. You can guarantee that. I'll find some good old pictures of Huey Lewis and chop up the whole team in there. That could be a lot of fun. And speaking with the career,
I
you
love
mentioned
it.
you got some great things happening with Jack Monroe, your whole team, Megan Fudge, Udit Castillo, and I want to say his last name right. I always say Garrett. It's Garnett.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Connor Garnett.
Right. And so when you hook up with them, is it basically when they're in town on tour, or do you go to them sometimes? How has that been working? And next phase of the career, how do you see that kind of continuing? How do you want to continue to build that brand out? We know we want to keep it small, but we have to get on the
Sure. Yeah. Um. So I usually communicate through that with them, just through texting
yeah.
or on social media, and whenever we can get in touch with each other physically, we do, but it's never really like an appointment thing or whatever, if you will. It's more of just hey, what's next? And Connor will kind of dump maybe a couple of pictures my way, and we'll use those for the next couple of graphics, and I'll just kind of keep track of where they're going, and kind of keep their graphics game on
Right.
track. And then whenever they're in California, and I make it a point to go out there and just kind of see them, make sure I get my updated picture and all that
Right.
good stuff.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess with graphic design and everything,
Yeah.
you need a selection of photos to start working with. They need to be current. They need to be, so then you can put your spin and do what you do with it. How long does that process take for you to come up with maybe the final three proofs, or is there just a final proof?
Oh yeah. It's different every time, to be honest with you. Sometimes the graphics, they come really easily, and other times I'll be messing with something for a couple of weeks before it lands on a certain project. And it's usually one proof at the end. It's never really like, here's a couple of options. I think my OCD is too severe to where I can't land on three good options. That's just going to be one great option.
Yeah.
So that's usually what it is, and I'll ask them, how's this look? Any changes? What do you think? And most of the time it's like, heck yeah, dude, let's do it. And
Right.
sometimes there's minor changes, and it just kind of depends on the day, I guess. It's kind of random about the time, but it could be anywhere from 5 minutes to a couple of hours
Sure.
if I'm solely focused on that. So yeah,
How
it's a
bad
process.
how bad would the OCD kick in, Matt, if one of your figurines behind you fell down? What would the process be in making sure everything got back up there right? Those are meticulous. They're stacked well. I told you I was going to ask you about them. Let's just talk about those real quick. And you said, you started collecting them. You've got a bunch of them. Remind me what they are. Tell the people what they are. I can't pronounce the name, but I know they're popular. I think my boys collected a couple of them, but you're a little older than them. But you were only collecting these. They were really popular, 7, 8 years ago? And go ahead and talk about that.
Thank you. Yeah, they are called Funko Pops. And
Funko
they're still
Pops.
pretty popular. There's
Yeah.
Funko Pops, and there's groups all over the world for these things, man. They're just like every other collector, they are hardcore. And our we're kind of relaxed nowadays. My wife and I, we don't really collect them like we used to, but this is kind of a remnant of what we have. And then I have a couple of other things around the room that you can't see, but um, yeah, they're kind of cool to look at. They're really aesthetic looking as far as the way they stack and the way they look. And nowadays, if one of them fell off the wall, I'd probably be more concerned with it hitting the fantasy football trophy or the paddle.
We'll
But
get
there
there.
are a couple cool ones up there. There's a Josh Allen one up there that's pretty cool, and him being a California kid, close to where I grew up, is he's kind of a favorite of mine, even though he's on the Bills. So
Even though he's on the other squad, right?
that's a cool
We're
one.
gonna
Yeah,
get into that because I know
yeah,
you're a
yeah.
football guy. I mean, back when in the day, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Beanie Baby movie or if you ever even collected Beanie Babies, but I had to get like a new Beanie Baby anytime I traveled anywhere. Can't even remember how many Beanie Babies that we had, and ultimately, my ex-wife now ended up, she might still have them. I don't know, but I remember we parted with some of them. But you had to get them, and you had to get them right away. And they would come out with the new ones, and then all the ones that were so popular that you could never find. But so I used to geek out on some stuff like that. I don't have my whole studio set up perfectly yet, where I'm going to get some of my Legos behind me and some other cool, fun stuff like that too. Because I still like to build Legos.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And they make some. You could build the Millennium Falcon.
I don't
How
have
cool
that
is
one yet.
that?
I don't
And
have it yet.
it's what that's like thousands of pieces, right? Something like that.
It's a lot. I don't have that one yet. It's on my list. The last one I have, Luke's land speeder. I've got that downstairs. I just finished. I built that one this Christmas. So I got the land speeder. And I'm working my way for the Falcon. That's a big build. Big build. I want Ecto 1 Ghostbusters. I want that one too. I don't have it yet. And so I got a list. I got and then I
Yeah,
bought my
absolutely.
son
That's
the from the most recent Batman movie, the Batmobile. The one with Twilight. He's Bruce Wayne now, and
mm-hmm.
and then he took it because I built it, but then he had to take it with him. So I guess we both won. I got to build.
That is
He gets,
there you go. There you go.
but he's
And
not taking my Fast and Furious
that's a good
Charger.
version of the Batmobile.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. Before we really get into some fun stuff here, anything else coming up that you can speak with in regards to Matt Bridges design? I'm here with Matt Bridges, Pickle with Mickle interview series. Go ahead before I got some fun stuff to get into. And now that I know you're a Marvel nerd, we're going to even get into some more of that. And your lovely wife, Jen, is a movie gal. So first, is there going to be an Oscar party at your house? Are you guys going to an Oscar?
We haven't really been we are movies and we're into all that, but we haven't really been into the Oscars and stuff like that.
Fair.
It's not our cup of tea.
Fair enough.
We and our streaming platforms, we're kind of like Netflix, Hulu, and we don't really watch the cable stuff anymore. Unless it's my wife will tell you, unless it's Shark Tank. I like to watch Shark Tank.
Shark Tank's cool. I never super got into it, seen a few episodes. All right, off the top of your head, rapid fire.
Ooh, probably whatever is in the top 5 trending movies, just randomly.
What about Hulu? Do you have a Hulu recommendation?
Oh, let's see. Hulu. You probably have to give me something.
Have you seen? Do you like kind of like scary type?
Sure. Yeah.
No One Will Save You. I think it's a Hulu original, but it's about like alien invasion, alien abduction. So it's pretty good.
Okay.
Good.
I
Had some
will
good
check that
pop
out.
outs for me there.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what platform it is. It might be Netflix, but it's a movie called Strays. It's about dogs. And it's a comedy. It's really funny.
Is that Will Ferrell
that's a good one.
And Jamie Foxx? Are they the voices of the Strays?
Correct. Yeah. Yep.
I think that's either
them.
Prime or Netflix. It's one of the two. I always jockey between the three.
There's so many of them nowadays.
Right. And
Yeah.
if I can't find something on either of them, then I just go to Plex because there's got to be something on Plex for crying out loud. And if I can't find anything, then why am I not playing pickleball?
There you go. There you go.
All right. So we did talk ahead of time, and you did tell me you like football. You're a fantasy football guy. You also told me that you're a Steelers fan. So the first question I have for you as we get into the fun zone right here on the court, Pickle with Mickle interview series, will Captain Kirk?
Man, you know, I would love that, to be honest
I
with
see
you. I
that
mean,
smile.
who
That
wouldn't
it
as
looks like
far
a
as
fan who says
uh,
yes.
yeah, yeah. You know, I would love to get a Funko Pop of Kirk Cousins in a Steelers uniform. That'd be great. But yeah, you know, I was just listening to a fantasy football show actually, and they were talking about destinations and where they're predicting Kirk Cousins to go, and most of the experts, if you will, are predicting him to just stay in Minnesota. So I've kind of
Isn't that
just
crazy?
accepted it, if you will, you know.
I think
So
that's
we'll see.
crazy because I've been hearing some of the same things. You know, I've got to listen to the dailies and the nightlies, and first of all, it was like, no, he can never stay there, and they won't bring him back. And now it sounds like they might, and I don't know why they would have ever wanted to get rid of him. So, as a Steeler fan, of course the big news is you're going to grab Fields out of Chicago.
Oh, bring it on, man! I love Justin Fields. He's like, you know, talking fantasy football, he's a gold mine. You know, he's a great fantasy football quarterback, and I think he'd be good. I think he'd be great with the Steelers.
You just transitioned and segued me right here. I have it typed out. Player you will draft with the first pick.
Oh man, definitely not Justin Fields. You know, no disrespect to him,
No,
but
he's not. He's
it'll
not a number
definitely
one
not be
fantasy
him.
pick. He's not a number one fantasy pick.
Right, right. You know, shoot, I at this point, it's got to be Christian McCaffrey, right? If we're just
Still,
talking a run of the mill one quarterback league, I would say probably McCaffrey or oh man, I don't know, Jefferson maybe. You
right? I
know,
mean, if it's not McCaffrey, it's got to be one of the
I
receivers. That's what we've seen the past couple of years. It's hard for me to believe McCaffrey can.
yeah, you know, it's but he's different, man.
I
It's
know.
we think the same thing about Kelsey. You know, we always think maybe this is the year, and it's never the year. It's always he's always
We
been
think what
good,
that
and
this is the year somebody will.
something, right? I mean, geez, yeah. So who are you picking? Number one overall, one quarterback league. Who you got?
First pick fantasy. Yeah, probably Jefferson.
First pick fantasy football. Yeah.
Jefferson, I like.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you can't go too wrong there.
Yeah.
McCaffrey, not a bad idea. I mean, other than that, sometimes, and I get dumb in fantasy, which is why I don't have a nice championship trophy like yours. And then leads me to another.
Oh well, man, well, we got to talk about which league, right? So,
Bring it on, brother.
you know,
Let's
we're
go.
all in
How many
multiple
leagues are you
leagues.
in, man?
Oh, my wife will tell you I've toned down quite a bit, especially since playing pickleball. You know, I don't have nearly the amount of time to spend looking at rosters and stuff, but I
Right.
do partake in. I think I'm in 3 dynasty leagues that are pretty serious.
Yep.
All of them 10 to 12 teams, and then I do a couple of redraft ones, you know, throughout the year, or every year, just kind of for fun. And those are either like a best ball deal or, you know, something really low maintenance that just
Yeah.
kind of something to look at
Something you
every
just put
week.
on cruise.
Right? Yeah. I just enjoy the mostly the sinking ship, you know.
And so with that trophy,
But my
what's the team name?
team name on that trophy is a play on Macho Man Randy Savage. So we have a cat, and he's a little, you know, he's a cat. So I guess you could say his personality. You can figure that out. He's kind of he's a great pet. Let's put it that way. But his name is Tandy. So the team name is actually called Tandy Savage,
Nice.
and the logo is something I had a friend of mine. Friend of mine's a cartoonist, and I had him draw kind of a mix of what my cat would look like dressed up as Randy Savage, and I'll have to send it to you
I'd love to see it.
when we're off the show. But yeah, so that's what's on that trophy. That's our family league, so we pass that around every year.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
been fun, yeah.
I made a similar trophy for a little family golf thing my brother and my father used to do. We called it the Brickle Cup. My brother's name's Brinkley, my name being Mickle. And my dad got tired of having it in his house. And so he finds like, just get the thing out. Or he keeps kicking our butts all the time, you know? But it's always fun. You got to have a nice trophy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it makes it more competitive, you know? Like this thing, my dad had this thing all year last year. So anytime we went over to the house, he had that thing sitting right under the TV, you know, right on the
front and center,
right on the mantle where we could all see it, and front and center, really, honestly.
Yeah,
and,
my mom put plants.
Kind of, it was cool to win it
in ours. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious.
Blasphemy. Yeah. So let's move on. I mean, you're at an age too, and since I know you like real fun stuff and Marvel and that, what was your favorite Saturday cartoon as a kid? Or
growing up, favorite cartoon would have to be probably the Rugrats. You know,
okay.
I'm in my 30s, so
yeah. I mean that's Rugrat
I'm 37. Era. So growing up, Rugrat era. So Rugrats, Doug. Who else was there? All the Nickelodeon stuff, like Hey Arnold, all that old stuff, man. That was kind of the bridge between the old stuff and what we have now as far as cartoons go.
Right.
And then the Ninja Turtles, obviously, you know. Everybody loves the Ninja Turtles.
Everybody had the Turtles, you know. I mean, if only they could get it right on film. Now I haven't seen the newest one that's kind of semi-digital live action, but it's not like people characters, right? It's voiced.
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and you're right. It's, you know, the movies they had. I think what was it, 1990 and 89 or whatever it was.
They've done a few.
Was the live action where they were in the suits. Those were good movies. You know, I think there were 3 of those, and yeah, ever since the CGI and everything like that, I think they just kind of they're doing too much. You know,
right? All right.
Crunch berries.
Nice. Bad.
Oh, Locklear. 8.
Good pull. Christian Slater. Solid.
Oh, let's see. New or old or all time? We'll go all time. The Ramones.
Nice.
No, I never got to.
Right on.
Unfortunately.
Back to the dream again. Dream foursome on the pickleball court. So that could be anybody, right? From music, entertainment, pickleball play.
Ooh, four people in a pickleball team, no matter
3
who
people
it
with
is?
you. 3 people with you. You get to play. We're taking the.
Okay. Oh, that's a heavy question.
This is a big show, man.
Is it people that celebrities that are past as well?
Go for it. It's your dream foursome out there. It's you and 3 of your key people. So if we have to
that's true, right? You know, 3 people. Let's see. I'll pick Dee Dee Ramone as my partner.
Yeah, all right.
And then we will go. You know, I've seen. It's kind of hard to think of everybody in the world, but I'm thinking of pickleball now. You know, and I would love to play pickleball with Gronk. You know,
yes.
I'm kind of stuck in the football mood after we've been talking.
Yeah,
but I would love to play pickleball with Gronk.
I like it. Gronk can play.
I think, you know, Dee Dee Ramone. Yeah, right. He can. Yeah. So we got Dee Dee Ramone, Gronk, and I think to round it out, I would pick. Oh man, let's go Anna Bright.
Okay. Yeah. There'd be some action on that court for sure. I mean, you get some smack talk out there because you know Bright would be John, you know, at Gronk and with Gronk. Ramon would just be out there kind of doing his thing, right? Imagine the after party you guys got going on. I mean, crying out loud.
Mm,
You'd be on
man.
Gronk's party boat for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. That would be something, right? That would be great.
Absolutely. So let's say now we're exploring. Would you rather go outer space?
Ooh, outer space, 100%.
Where would you want to go?
Deep waters. Yeah, you're right, but I don't know.
Where
I
would you want to
guess,
go in
if
outer
we're
space? Well, I mean, everybody wants to go to Mars. Would you want to hit the Mars thing, or you think maybe what if you could get to a different planet, or are you thinking kind of even just
yeah, let's go Star Trek style. Let's see what we find,
Star
Let's
Trek or
make
Star
something out of
Wars?
what we find and Star Wars. Star
Very good
Wars.
answer. That's a great
Yeah.
answer here. I had Pickleball Barbie herself
Star Wars.
in this
100%.
show, and I mean, she pulled it off. She answered Empire. I'm like, favorite Star Wars movie. She's like, Empire. No hesitation.
Yeah. Yeah. We got some Star Wars up here somewhere in
Nice.
there.
Very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I got Star Wars Legos. I'm all into that. I got Star Wars. I got a big Star Wars poster or puzzle that I built that I got all glued that I got to put up in here somewhere to get that done. That was my era, man. I mean, when Star Wars came out, somebody's mom was taking us to see it. I think it felt like every day. It was probably every weekend, but that's what we would do,
Yeah.
because that hit me right in the sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're in that era too. First CD you bought, were you still mixing tapes or was it all CDs? It was probably a mix of both. You were kind of
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, there were tapes, definitely. I used to listen to whatever my mom had as far as tapes go. And then by the time I could buy my own stuff, it was basically all CDs. And first CD I bought, I think it was had to have been Dookie by Green Day.
nice 30-year
And
anniversary. Great pull.
yeah,
I've seen Green
right,
Day in concert. Have you
yeah. They
seen
just
Green Day
came
in
out with the
concert?
vinyl set. I have. I've seen them a couple of times, and they
Me too.
are. I would probably put them probably the top 5 concerts I've ever been to. They put on a really good show.
They put on an awesome show. I saw them out here like when I first moved to Arizona. So this was circa 1995 out at the Maple.
Oh wow, that would be great to see them then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh dude, it was pretty killer. So Superpower for one.
Probably to fly. I think it would cure my fear of heights. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're like, Madden, you're gonna be on the bus. We're not flying around. Once the Matt Bridges graphic design is taking us to places far, and it's champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get something nice. We'll make it worth everybody's while, if that's what it comes to.
If that's what it takes, right? If that's what it takes, you're a selfless guy. You'll handle it. I got no problem with that. All right, let me get you out of here with some more fun stuff. We'll kind of speed it up.
Ooh, all time. Probably Emmitt Smith.
Okay. Florida guy, cowboy guy. I'm a Redskins fan, but Emmitt Smith was great. So I can give you that one. Who is your college?
Offensive, but defensive, Deion Sanders. Defensive.
Primetime. Hell yeah, man. Primetime went to Florida State. My mom went to Florida State, so go Primetime. I think eventually.
Ooh, that would be cool. I had never even thought about that, but yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome.
I think it'd be pretty
I have
cool.
A couple
He's not
of his
done.
cards from Florida State.
Oh, do you? Awesome.
No. Oh no.
And then so we mentioned a little bit of Marvel. Do you lean Marvel? Any DC? Or are we all Marvel?
We used to be divided. I used to be completely DC in a sense that I just wanted to be rebellious. I didn't want to admit that the fact that the Marvel movies were just
better.
They're just so good, but I am a bigger Batman guy than I am Marvel. So
okay.
I grew up with Batman.
Yeah.
Batman was my superhero as a kid. So, I just say Batman and Marvel.
Sure. Batman's awesome. Love Batman. My son Jackson, huge Batman guy. My Batman's Keaton, right? Yours is probably Bale. You can't really go bad with either one of them. Now, this new era of Batman being, like I said, Pattinson, Twilight, I thought he pulled it off in the new movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he he did a really good job. He kind of blew everybody out of the water with his performance as not only Batman but Bruce Wayne. You know,
Right.
I think we were all kind of scared, like we were going to see the guy from Twilight, you know, and
Right.
he kind of he broke that mold, fortunately, you know. So yeah,
Good for DC and good.
Yes, very good, very good.
All right. Hey, Matt Bridges joining me. I appreciate it so much. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you had some fun. I want to wish you the best of luck out there in Sacramento this week. You see Jenny, you see Udit. Hey, tell them I said hi. Play well out there. Golden ticket, here you come. I feel it. I'm going to put the vibes out there for you. Matt, as I let you go, please give yourself a plug. Say hi to the fans.
Oh man, you know, again, thanks Mickle for having me. I really appreciate you having me on. It's always nice to just talk pickle with somebody, you know, or sports in general. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, mattb.pickleball. So, or you could just find me on Facebook at Matt Bridges. My website's mattbridgesdesign.com. And there's a little form on there if you do want some artwork and stuff done that, you know, you can fill out there. So, yeah, that's about it, man. I'm just, other than that, I'm pretty much word of mouth, you know.
Yeah, very good. And a lot of that word of mouth is coming from some super talent out there on both the APP and PPA tours. Talent you can see. Look for Matt's stuff out there on the socials. You're going to see it. Matt, thanks again.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Matt, go get that golden ticket this weekend. A football segment this fall. Now that's the ticket. Everyone, go out and live your fantasies. In all you do, stay safe and stay hydrated. I'll see all y'all right here next time for more